In a quiet little town, the residents were constantly baffled by one thing: Harold the squirrel. Unlike other squirrels, Harold had no interest in nuts, trees, or even scampering around power lines. Harold wanted to be a motivational speaker. Every morning, he would climb to the top of the tallest street lamp, clear his throat, and begin squeaking passionately at whoever happened to pass by. The townsfolk couldn't understand a word of squirrel chatter, but Harold's gestures were so dramatic that people often stopped and clapped anyway. One day, Harold announced his biggest event yet. At least, that's what it looked like when he spent 3 whole days setting up a stage made entirely of twigs, soda bottle caps, and shiny bits of aluminum foil he had stolen from picnic baskets. By Saturday morning, half the town showed up, not because they expected inspiration, but because nobody could resist the chaos of a squirrel on a mission. Harold strutted across his twig stage, tail flicking like a rock star's guitar solo. As the speech began, he squeaked louder than ever, pointing at the sky, then at the people, then at himself. The crowd leaned in, utterly confused, until Harold paused, raised both paws dramatically, and knocked over his own podium, which was actually just a Pringles can. The entire crowd burst into applause. They didn't know what he had said, but it sure looked important. The moment reached its peak when Harold suddenly leapt into the air, spread his arms wide, and attempted to glide like a flying squirrel, even though he was not, in fact, a flying squirrel. He belly flopped into a bush, popped back out covered in leaves, and held his head high as if it had been the plan all along. The audience gave him a standing ovation, chanting Harold's name. From that day forward, Harold became the official town mascot. And every year they held a squirrel summit where nobody actually knew what was happening, but everyone left feeling strangely motivated. The lesson was clear: sometimes you don't need to understand the message to enjoy the show.